If there's one truth about human nature that most people underestimate, it's this. People want to believe. They crave stories, structure, someone to tell them what it all means.
And that's what Law 27 taps into. It's not about lying, it's about recognizing that faith is a currency. If you can speak to someone's belief system, you don't need force, you have influence.
Robert Greene puts it clearly. Most people are adrift, uncertain, and uncertainty is uncomfortable, so they search for certainty, and they're willing to borrow it from anyone who offers clarity with confidence.
That's why cult leaders rise. That's why charismatic figures, even dangerous ones, gain traction. Not because of truth, but because of structure. They sell certainty in a chaotic world.
And it doesn't just happen in religion or politics. It happens in business, branding, social media. Whoever creates a belief system that feels coherent gains followers.
Apple isn't just a tech company. It's a belief system. Minimalism, innovation, think different. It's not just product, it's philosophy.
Same with Tesla, or even influencers. The ones who build tribes aren't just entertaining, they're anchoring people's identity to a vision.
This law asks, do you want passive followers or devoted ones? If you want devotion, you need to build a belief they can plug into.
And here's the strategy. It doesn't have to be logical, it has to be emotionally true. Belief isn't about facts, it's about feeling. You give people a role to play, a villain to fight, a future to chase.
And when you do that well, they don't just follow you, they protect you. They spread your message, they defend your flaws, because their identity is now tied to your vision.
Which is exactly why this law is so powerful and so dangerous. If you misuse it, you're manipulating the deepest parts of the human mind, and that has consequences.
But if you apply it with awareness, you become a builder of movements. You don't just gather attention, you create meaning, and people move for meaning. So let's talk structure. If you're going to play on belief, you need more than charisma. You need a framework, something people can see themselves inside.
Exactly. People don't want vague inspiration. They want a path, a map, a sense of this is where we're going, and here's what it means to walk with me.
And that's where myths come in. Not lies, myths. Stories that explain the world, that create an us and a them, that clarify values without having to debate them.
The best power players don't just communicate, they ritualize. They give their audience symbols, phrases, language. It becomes a shared identity.
Think of political movements. The language is precise. The hand signs, the slogans, even the music, it all reinforces belief cohesion.
Same in branding. Nike doesn't just sell shoes, it sells defiance, performance. Just do it is a belief, not a feature.
When people wear it, they're not just buying fabric, they're signaling who they are. And that's the real product, identity.
This is what cult brands, leaders, and creators understand. People are overwhelmed with options. Belief simplifies, it filters, it gives people a place to belong.
But here's where it gets sharper. Belief can't be neutral. It needs contrast, a villain, a threat, something to push against. That tension strengthens the bond.
Right. It's not just follow me, it's follow me because they don't understand us. That us versus them dynamic is primal and extremely effective.
But you don't have to be extreme to use this law. You can apply it subtly. Build a worldview into your message. Offer purpose. Define the tribe. Give people a role to play.
And once someone accepts that role, they begin to self-regulate. They enforce the story on themselves and even on others.
That's what makes this law powerful. You're no longer pushing people. They're pulling themselves because they believe in something beyond logic.
And now your influence multiplies, not by force, but by faith. You become more than a voice. You become a symbol.
Let's talk about charisma. A lot of people think it's something you're born with, but in reality, charisma is crafted, especially when tied to belief.
Yes, and it's not just about being loud or charming. It's about certainty. When you speak with conviction, people borrow your confidence for their own insecurity.
Certainty is magnetic, and when you combine it with consistency, it becomes belief. You say the same things. you behave the same way. You build a rhythm people can depend on.
That rhythm is important. People don't trust chaos, they trust patterns. And when your presence becomes predictable in tone and purpose, it feels like truth.
But here's something subtle. Aesthetics matter. How you look, how you dress, the colors you use, the way your environment is arranged, all of it sends signals.
That's why spiritual leaders often wear robes, why founders dress the same every day, why creators stick to a visual language. It's not fashion, it's symbolism.
Because symbols bypass logic, they speak to the subconscious. You don't need to explain them, people feel them. And when they see those symbols consistently, it reinforces belief.
That's the real art of this law. You're not persuading, you're inviting. You're saying, here's who we are, here's what we believe, here's what it looks like.
And people want to enter that, especially in a world that feels fractured, fast, uncertain. If you offer emotional clarity, people will step into it, even if they don't fully understand why.
But there's responsibility here, because belief creates power, and power without awareness turns into control.
That's the dark side of this law. If you're not careful, you stop serving the belief and start using it. You become addicted to being followed.
Which is why so many movements, even powerful ones, eventually collapse. The belief becomes a tool for the ego, not a space for growth.
So if you're going to apply this law, ask yourself, why do I want people to believe in me? Is it for control or is it for impact?
Because people are giving you more than attention. They're giving you your trust. Don't take it lightly.
Let's go deeper into the danger zone. Because Law 27 has power, but it also has weight. When people believe in you, they're not just following your message, they're projecting hope onto you.
Exactly. You're not just a person anymore. You become a symbol. And if you break that symbol by contradiction, betrayal, or ego, the fall is massive.
We've seen it over and over. Leaders who started with vision and ended in scandal. Movements that began with purpose and ended in manipulation.
Because here's what happens. The leader starts believing their own mythology. They forget that belief is a borrowed energy, not something they own.
And once the ego takes over, everything becomes about them, their image, their status, their control. The belief system turns from shared meaning into personal empire.
That's when it collapses. Because people may be hungry to believe, but they're also sensitive to betrayal. When the mask slips, they don't just walk away, they turn against you.
That's why this law must be used with intention, not as a shortcut to power, but as a framework for meaning, something bigger than your name.
If people are believing in you just to feed your status, you're not building a system, you're building a dependency, and that never lasts.
Also, the stronger the belief, the more dangerous the fall. Devotion turns into disillusionment, and disillusioned followers are often the loudest critics.
So how do you avoid that? Stay humble. Stay in service of the message, not the spotlight. Let the belief be about something enduring, not just your charisma.
And protect it. Belief systems are delicate. If they're overexploited, monetized too aggressively, or weaponized against outsiders, they lose authenticity.
There's a difference between a cult following and a cult. The former is rooted in shared values, the latter in control and ego.
So always check your motives. Are you building something people can grow inside, or something they can't leave?
Because belief is power, but it's also responsibility. You're shaping how people see themselves. That's sacred ground.
So let's talk about how to apply this law ethically. Because belief isn't just a tool, it can be a gift, a way to offer people clarity, structure, and a higher sense of purpose.
Exactly. Not all belief systems are manipulative. Some are empowering. They give people a standard, a language, a vision to rise toward.
The key is mutual growth. You're not above your audience, you're walking with them. You're evolving too. That humility keeps the system alive.
And you build it through principles, not hype. Things people can live by, things they can measure themselves against, not just admire in you.
Also, make room for questioning. Real belief can handle doubt. If people can't challenge or refine the message, it's not a belief system, it's a trap.
That's what separates great movements from fragile ones. Openness, integrity, the ability to adapt without collapsing.
You also need a narrative that's bigger than personal gain. If the story is just, follow me to get rich, or believe in me because I'm successful, it doesn't last. It's too shallow.
But if the story is, here's what we stand for, here's the future we're building, here's how you can help create it, then it sticks. People buy in not just emotionally, but philosophically.
And that belief, when well structured, creates movement, not just followers, but builders, people who contribute, improve, and pass it forward.
And your role shifts. You're no longer the sole voice. You become the origin point, the guide who started the path, not the gatekeeper who controls it.
That's where real power lives, not in being worshipped, but in setting something in motion that outlives your presence.
So if you're building a brand, a community, a message, ask yourself, would this still work without me at the center?
Because if the belief depends on your personality alone, it will crumble. But if it's built on truth, meaning, and shared identity, it grows.
Belief is magnetic, but only when it's grounded, not in ego, in vision.
So what does this law ultimately teach us? That power isn't just about control, it's about conviction. And the deepest form of conviction isn't taught, it's felt.
Exactly. People don't just want leaders, they want meaning makers, figures who can name what they feel, structure what they hope for, and promise that it leads somewhere.
When you offer that with consistency, humility, and vision, people don't just follow you, they align with you.
And that alignment creates something more potent than authority. It creates loyalty, the kind that moves without orders, the kind that defends without being asked.
But with that comes a deep responsibility, because when people believe in you, they're giving you access to their most vulnerable hopes, and how you handle that defines what kind of leader or manipulator you become.
Use it to elevate them, and you'll build legacy. Use it to feed your ego, and you'll leave a trail of broken trust. Either way, belief is not neutral. It changes people.
So the question is, what kind of change are you creating? Are you making people better, stronger, or just more obedient?
Because at the end of the day, people don't remember the facts. They remember how you made them feel. And belief is the strongest feeling of all.
It's the foundation of revolutions, of movements, of brands, of identities. If you can tap into it and honor it, you don't just lead, you transform.
Next week, we move into something equally powerful. Law 28, enter action with boldness. We'll talk about hesitation, presence, and how bold moves, even risky ones, are often the only way to command respect.
Until then, remember, people are searching for clarity, for meaning, for belief. If you can offer that with integrity, they won't just listen, they'll follow.
And that's not manipulation, that's mastery.